Hello guys, in today's video we're working on a simple animation. So the animation is going to look something like this video on my screen. So to achieve this, we'll be using Lottie. We'll be using Lottie for the animation, and also be using CustomPaint to draw the the arcs on the screen. So here are the Lottie files are here. I'll be I'll link them below in my video description for you to check them out. And also we're using the Lottie package. So we're going to start by working on the UI, just working on the custom paints, creating the arcs with custom paints, then laying out the texts and the other widgets before we actually go to the animation. So I'm going to run the app first. I'm going to run the code I have. The code I have is just a scaffold and also the dot indicator not being used yet, and also the model and the lists of onboarding items. The onboarding item onboarding model contains like the Lottie file, the title, and the subtitle. Okay, great. So on our screen we have just a dark gray background. First, we need to make it black. And then we need to add a body, which is going to be a stack. In this stack, create our custom paints. If you don't have like the basic knowledge of custom paints, I created a video on the basics of custom paints. You can check it out. We have our painter and our child. So for now, our child is going to be a sized box. And then we have to create our painter class first. Extend custom painter. Create the override, this override, and return false. So now we need to add like the height and the width to our size box, and also add the painter here, arc painter. And since looking at the UI again, since the arc is almost like the middle, just a bit lower than the middle of our screen, we're going to be using the media query. Use media query to get the height and the width. The width media query, that's context, size, that's width. So since I will need to reuse this, I'm just going to create the screen size here, which I'll call, and also the heights. Now we need to implement our paint. Basically, here we have two arcs, a white arc and then a yellow arc. So I'm going to start with the yellow arc because it's the one that is at the bottom. To start, we're going to use path. Oh, orange arc. Let's move to 0, 0. F2, then line 2. Size dot height means 70. Align to size.width. And then close. So now we have our path. We now we have to basically paint it on the canvas. Canvas.draw path. Paint. Color is equals to colors that's orange. So now we have like a square on our screen, but we need an arc. So here we're going to convert this line to quadratic behavior. Size dot select slash 2. Size dot height. Now we have our arc, our yellow arc. Now we have to move to the next one, the white. So if you want to understand like everything I'm doing with the custom paints here, you can just check out the video I made on the custom paint basics. So this is going to be very, very similar to the yellow orange arc. One, two. Now we have to draw it on the canvas. White. Okay, now we have our yellow and white arc, just like the UI design. Now we can go back to working. We can go back to working on the rest of the UI, which is basically the text. So to do this, we're going to have like a column in our stack that we're going to align to the bottom of the screen. Minimum dots, bottom center, child. So in this column, we're going to be using a page view widget to handle the swiping on the text. So like when we swipe on the text, it should move to the next description text. So I'm going to be using the page view builder for that. So we're going to add an item count. Should be our tabs. The flame. The tabs is the list of the onboarding models I created here, which has the description, the title, and the Lottie file. So here, let's have onboarding model. Texts. Text style, font size 27. Font width. Yeah, it's going to be bold, and then we're going to work on. Okay. Okay, now we're supposed to have our title and our subtitles on the screen here. We're getting an error. Okay, I have to wrap this in a flexible and also wrap the column in a size box. Height to 70. So now we have our title and our subtitle. Now the next thing will be to work on the dot indicator, which is going to be after the flexible. So we're using a rule for that. So now we have that. Also, we need to add a floating action button. It's part of the UI right here, this icon here. Latino icons, several rights, colors, that's whites, and gives it constant. Now we need to make the background transparent. Yeah. Now that we have all this, we can now go to the Lottie, the main animation that we actually came here to do. So first of all, we need to convert our widget to a stateful widget. Then we create a page controller for our page view and also create a variable called current index, which is going to hold the index of the current tab we are on. We need this to control our dot indicator and also our animation. So we can attach our page view, our page controller, sorry, page controller here. And also to check if a particular dot is active. Right now, they are all inactive because you can see they are all grayed out. To check if it's active, you have to check if the index of the dots is equals to the current index we're on. So now you can see. Now, to further control it, the page view has a callback or the and page changed, which gives us an integer. We need to set this current index to this integer and call set states. So now if we swipe, we get our dot moves, doesn't stay one place. So that's progress. Next thing we have to work on is the Lottie, the main animation. So here in the stack, we have to put Lottie in the stack also. Also those assets. Lots of file. So if I'm to save this, the Lottie is there, but it's not well positioned. Now we basically need to position it very well. Add the width 600. And alignments. And also wrap it in a position. So now we have our Lottie position where we need it to be. Now, if we have to swipe around, see our Lottie is changing. But the animation is not really well because when we swipe, it's supposed to start over from beginning, but it takes a few seconds. Instead, it takes a few seconds before continuing. So to tackle this, we need to add a key to our Lottie. So I'm going to be generating basically a random integer. Now, when we swipe, our animation starts from beginning. but our button action button is not working. So to tackle that, we need to basically use the page controller. Next page duration 100 milliseconds. Now if we tap on our button here, it goes to the next page. But what happens when we reach the end of the line? It's supposed to go back to the start and start the animation all over. So we need to undo that. We check if our current index is 2, which is basically the last index. So if it's 2, we then animate to page 0, which is the first page, and we use the same duration and the same curve. So now, if we're at the end of the page and we tap on the button, it goes back to the beginning. And also, we can also swipe. So guys, that concludes my tutorial for today. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.